Hi there, viewers and gamers alike out there, and also novelty gamers who like novel games such as this. Welcome back to Winter's Daydream. Previous episode was episode 2. It's like going to visit visiting Grandma Umeko. Now, this is episode 3. And this game is available on this novelty game is available on the Nintendo Switch and the Xbox One. So let's continue our progress. Right where I left off. My grandmother enters the living room, supporting a tray in her ropey hands. Oh, thank you. Do you need any help with that? My grandmother slides a cup of tea from the tray and places it atop the kotatsu beside the bowl of oranges. Thank you. I bow my head. My voice hushed. I wait until my grandmother has placed her own cup of tea down and slid beneath the covers before I take my first sip. Is it good? It is good. I swish the tea from one side of my mouth to the other, savoring the taste. I never liked green tea when I was little, but now I develop a tolerance for it that borders the fondness when the right criteria are met. My grandmother's tea fortunately meets all those criteria. The tea has a soft, slightly muted taste. The leaves have been steeped for just the right amount of time, allowing their earthy flavor to seep through the warm water. It's good. Thanks a lot. Yukinari, huh? Grandpa, huh? It might be insensitive. I can't help but glance back at the shrine. My grandfather looks back at me from behind the smooth, glassy frame that entombs him, a smile on his face. I think it's a nice picture. It would be far too sad if his funeral photograph bore a frown. Though, now that I think about it, I can't remember ever seeing him frown. He was a very cheerful, good-natured person. He swore it was because of the air around here. It's the cleanest air in Japan, was what he always told me. And it's been a while since his funeral, huh? Do you, I let my gaze drop to the tabletop. The kotatsu's wooden surface is scuffed with age, and it's ingrained with marks even deeper than the wrinkles in my grandmother's face. I wonder how old this kotatsu is. It looks like it's been through the wars, maybe literally. Do you miss him? My grandfather had a loud, booming voice, even when he was well into his 80s. I can still remember him calling out, the sound invading every single nook and cranny of this small wooden house. And he says, "A watermelon's ready!" I wonder how long ago that was. Maybe 5 years? Maybe 10. You could always hear him snoring, and it drowned out everything. Wow. My grandmother sighs. Didn't his snoring bother you? Or bother you? Have you gotten used to the wind. And when they get older, I see what you mean. I'm sorry, I didn't know. My grandmother smiles gently. I know, he's my grandfather, for crying out loud, who died almost nearly a year ago. I know, but he was close to Uncle Ben Parker. Maybe he did? My grandmother laughed, shaking her head. I'm not sure whether I should laugh or not. It might seem insensitive. So I take another sip of my green tea instead. That's fine. I'm too old for New Year's money now. My grandmother looks me over, one hand being hot beneath her chin. Toko's snide comment about my expanding girth nickels at me. My cheeks turn pink and I bow my head, staring at my lap. I'm not that big. I don't think I'm so very tall. I've always been short for my age. Maybe a day or two. It takes a while to get back, and the trains were all delayed on the way here. It has been snowing a lot. Was meant to snow tonight? I wonder if the trains will ever be running tomorrow. I've seen Christmas cakes on sale in the supermarket near my apartment in Tokyo, and these depict idyllic scenes. A neat circle of fruitcake with white icing piped on top, studded with little gingerbread houses and small edible snowmen. The Christmases in the countryside, however, are as far away from that idyll as you can imagine. The snow here can fall thick and fast between the months of December and March. It can even snow all the way into April if the weather is cold enough. And the weather seems to be getting colder and colder with every passing year. Some of the very old houses around these parts, their wooden walls and rafters worm-eaten and worn, actually collapsed beneath the weight of the snowfall a couple of years ago. Their roofs simply caved in, unable to bear the heavy burden of all that pure white snow. It's little wonder that the legends of fearsome snow women who prowl the mountains at night looking for lost travelers originated from this area. You never find these snow women out in Tokyo. In the city, the temptations that can lead young men astray are limited to pachinko parlors and smoky izakayas. I know what a pachinko parlors and smoky izakayas, if you guys want to know, so moving on. I guess ghosts seem laughable when you're surrounded by so many modern, high-rise buildings. It's much more isolated in the countryside, quieter, lonelier. If I strain my ears, I can hear the sound of the wind whistling through the skinny, denuded trees outside. I shiver beneath the kotatsu. All of a sudden, I feel like a young little man. No, I won't get bored. It's fine. I came here to spend time with you anyway. She prefers to be called Otome now. Haha, right. You seem pretty spry to me. In fact, I think you look even younger than before. It was nothing, Grandma Umeko. Oh no, it's nothing. It's nothing really. And I mean it. I had so many opportunities to reach out to my grandparents in the past, but I never bothered. Visiting them in my youth was a painful experience, even worse than having teeth pulled at the dentist's. Then, before I realized it, my grandfather was dead. He was dead and I never tried to get to know him. That was the wake-up call I needed. My grandparents, though they were born in a different generation to mine, are still human beings. They must get lonely too. I got lonely in Tokyo in my first few weeks of starting university. Even though I've always surrounded with people, maybe I was homesick. I can't imagine how lonely my grandmother must feel now that her husband of more than 50 years has passed. She's been with him for such a long time and devoted so much of her life to him, and now he's gone, vanished into thin air. My grandmother is still smiling, but I do wonder. I glance at grandfather's shrine once more. His photograph looks back at me, his eyes unblinking. Unfortunately, the photograph can't bring back what has been lost. This is just a snapshot of frozen time, forcibly removed from all context, one day to be devoided of all meaning. What worth will photographs like these have in 50 years from now? 100? 500? Who will remember my grandfather when the rest of his family has gone? A knot twists in my stomach. Outside, the wind outside continues to howl. The weather forecast was right. Later that evening, it really does start to snow. The snow spirals through the air in delicate, gauzy flakes, like ballerinas in tulle skirts. The snowfall is soft at first, almost tender. And though anxious about the weather, it should land on the earth or not. But the flakes soon increased in size and volume. Now, at around 9 in the evening, the whole ground has been steeped in white. I've watched the snow as it falls outside the window. Still sitting beneath the kotatsu, there's so much of it, one could almost believe it's being dumped from the sky by a truck. It will be a cold night, Grandma. I nod my head dumbly. The television is on the background, but I'm not watching it. I haven't been watching it for the past half hour. I'm too busy staring at the snow. Each flake of snow that drifts past the window stirs new memories in my heart. It just doesn't snow like this in Tokyo. It doesn't get cold enough. I never thought I'd miss the snow, but now I feel strangely nostalgic. That's a TV announcer. I didn't press nothing. Wow, but it did press for me automatically. Hyena? Is she the type of a pop star in Tokyo? Okay. Aina and her group Palette Princess, please consider supporting their newest release. And again, I turn, tear in my eyes, away from the window and look over the young ladies who are displayed on the TV. The image on the screen is shaking uncomfortably, like it's being broadcast live from a boat in the middle of a storm. It's making my head hurt. At least I can make the image out, more or less. There are 5 young ladies wearing matching outfits in varying colors. Green, blue, yellow, purple, and pink. Oh, right! It's somewhat similar like the Sailor Scouts! And Glitter Force! Woo! I think that young lady in pink sitting in the center is their leader. Aino, was it? I think Otoku likes that group, but I'm not interested in idols. Yeah, they're very smiley. Very much. It's what you see on all the manga, comic strips, and posters, and yeah, you name it. Anything. They have to be smiley. That's how they sell CDs. Living in the city. And the internet, maybe. My grandmother makes quotation marks with her fingers when she says it, as though the internet is some kind of strange voodoo magic far beyond her understanding. Well, to people who aren't familiar with the internet, it might as well be voodoo magic. I don't entirely understand how it works myself. But does everybody know how to use the internet? Because, okay, it says click here and you go there. Is that how it works? I'm just messing with you. It's a good thing I'm studying law, not computing. I see. Well, I guess you don't need to worry about it. Oh, no, you're not a relic. Exactly, no, well... What do you mean, those... ladies? Such short skirts, yay! And they look pretty awesome. It's so kawaii that I fall in love. Times are changing. I used to have that once, but you don't want to know. You shouldn't pay any attention to Otoko. Her head's as empty as a Halloween pumpkin. Me? Bully her? I stare at my grandmother, open-mouthed at this utter fallacy. Has she not been paying any attention to the way Otoko treats me, or has she simply forgotten? Maybe she doesn't know because we don't visit her enough, but I think I need to set the record straight. I think it's the other way around. Otoko never has a nice word to spare for me. Why not? Yeah. Pause. Shame face. My self-ignorant anger spent. Guess my grandmother's right. I did do that. It happened so long ago, I'd totally forgotten. I think Otoko was trapped in a cramped, musty closet for half an hour until my parents realized she was missing and organized a search party. You say you're getting on in years, but you have a better memory than I do. Well, I guess I used to be a brat when I was younger. My grandmother gives me a piercing look. No, but it was so long ago. It's not like it matters anymore. Are you speaking from experience? My grandmother taps the side of her nose with one finger and I suppress a shudder. I hope no wayward woman tried to take my grandfather away from my grandmother when she was in the prime of her youth. If she was anything like Otoko is now, I'm sure her vengeance would have been swift and painful. My grandmother frowns. Her forehead creases with innumerable wrinkles. Really? Like Lisette right there? Wow, that is something new. But now? She looks all right to me. Really? They come to an end much too quickly. I can hear the snow falling in the background above the low, lazy buzz of the TV. The wind whistles about this old house, shaking it to its very foundations. Like Lisette, it's seen better days. I wonder whether my grandmother's house will one day collapse beneath its own old age and all the snow. Well, what will last longer, my grandmother or her home? I don't know much about my grandmother's past, but perhaps that's because there's so little to know. She was born and raised in this tiny village. She never left, save for the odd trip or two to Tokyo and her honeymoon in France. She never had any reason to leave either, because life was comfortable here in all its simplicity, and she had no desire to move. Life was simpler back then. Maybe that's because the internet had yet to be invented. It's hard for me to believe, but my grandmother grew up in an era without the World Wide Web, as she calls it. When people wanted to unearth new information, they went to the library or asked around the neighborhood. Progress really is amazing, but people always get left behind. In my grandparents' case, it happened quite literally, as more and more residents of this village began to move outwards in search of new jobs. All the young people left, with their aged parents stayed on. No new blood came in, so this village stagnated. In a few years, all those old people will be no more, and then this place will be completely empty. A ghost village, filled with the carcasses of these ancient, uninhabited houses, just like the discarded shells of cicadas. The population of the cities will continue to swell, while quiet countryside villages such as this will fade away. This village is already unmistakably beginning to die. You can see it in how dirty and dilapidated the train station is, how empty the streets, how ramshackle all the old wooden homes. There's hardly anybody here anymore. Just the wind and the snow and the stars. You mean Grandpa? My grandmother's voice is soft, her eyelashes downturned. Meaning to ring the bell and offer your prayers to them? I see. So she didn't know that this would also be the luckiest day of your life. You mean my grandpa? You mean grandfather? My grandmother nods her head, a small smile on her face. That sounds very romantic. My grandmother smiles fondly, her fingertips tracing the rim of her teacup. That is so romantic between you two. Then why didn't you go back there? It'll be New Year's in a few days. You can relive your old memories. I could help you. You can lean on my shoulder and I'll escort you up those stairs. I don't mind. Well, maybe you have a point. The snow continues to fall outside the window. I think it's falling even faster and thicker now, if such a thing is possible. I hope nobody's wandering the mountains that surrounds this village, lost and alone. It seems like the ideal weather for a frost-bitten, revenge-driven snow lady to search for new victims. What do you mean? My grandmother looks down at herself, at her beige sweater, her demure skirt, and her weathered old hands lying upon her lap, and sighs. My grandmother holds one hand against her breast. I'm sorry, Grandma, but I know you're sad, but it's not lost forever. But that sounds so sad. I see. Another tree in stone. But I never get to discover what Sanek's new idol group is called because at that moment the TV shorts out. The screen flickers, then turns a series of peculiar colors, cycles through strawberry, lemon, and blue Hawaii before it cuts out entirely, eaten up by a full screen of squirming, maggot-like static. There's snow inside the TV screen. My grandmother tuts and shakes her head. How long does it take to fix it? Oh, 2 weeks. Weeks! I can't imagine. I can still remember my grandfather's loud, booming voice as he called to me to the kitchen and to fetch my freshly cut slice of watermelon. If it took a man like grandfather weeks to get results, I can't imagine my grandmother will be more successful. Then how do you fill the time? I can't imagine there's much to do around here. Not now, Grandpa's... Do you read a lot? My grandmother smiles wistfully. It's always one thing or another. I echo one of Dad's commonly used phrases and grandmother's laughs. Dad says it too. Like meeting Grandpa? At the shrine. Wow. So that's how you met him. My grandmother smiles sheepishly. I think it sounds nice, like something from a movie. An Ozu film, huh? I bet Otoko would lap it up. Why not? And it wouldn't star Takizawa Hideaki? An actor. Otoko loves him. She used to keep a photo of him inside her purse. Ikebe Rio, huh? My grandmother starts laughing, her face creasing up with mirth, and I can't help but join her. I can't remember the last time I bonded with my grandmother like this. I don't think I've ever bonded with my grandmother like this. The smell of green tea drifts through the room, seems to permeate the wooden rafters and the tatami mats, imbuing everything with a warm and homey aroma. How many cups of tea have my grandparents drunk, sitting together in this small, cozy living room? I see. Is that what you really think? for one more day, huh? My grandmother shakes her head, perhaps chiding herself for her foolishness, but then she pauses. She sits up a little straighter and points out the window, almost knocking over her cup of green tea in the process. Huh? What? The window? I turn my head obediently. The snow is still falling thick and fast, obscuring much of the inky night sky. But between the pure white flakes, I can just about see it. The moon, hanging majestically above our heads. And there, leaving a trail like a jet plane's as it streaks across the night, is a star, more like a shooting star, or a star, which you call it. A shooting star. I haven't seen any shooting stars in Tokyo. I hardly see any stars in Tokyo, full stop. The buildings are so tall, it's almost as if they scared the stars away, shooing them even higher up into the stratosphere. The sky is murkier and more mysterious when you live in a big city constantly bedecked with blinking lights. Out here, in the middle of nowhere, my view of the night sky is unimpeded by any outside distractions. Not even the snow can mask it. Okay, a wish. A wish. My grandmother closes her eyes. Her eyelashes mat together. Like her gray, wispy hair, my grandmother's eyelashes have also started to thin. They look nothing like the plump, voluptuous bands of eyelashes that frame the eyes of the pallid princess girls. But thinking about it... Ouch! Those young ladies' eyelashes can't be au naturel. You don't want to know. They're fakes. Otoko uses them too. I guess most guys wouldn't care about that. They might not even realize it. But when you have a fashionable little sister like Otoko, you learn about the tricks women use to amplify their own beauty, whether you want to or not. But I love it. Speaking of Otoko, maybe I should wish for that. Yeah. I can't think of anything else I'd rather ask for. If there are gods out there, mischievous beings, light as air, who conspired to bring my grandparents together all those decades ago, then I hope they can hear my humble wish. I only have one. I hope Otoko and I can get along better. I spend that night lying in a futon my grandmother prepared for me in the guest room. Well, I call it a guest room, but it's more like a storage room really, cluttered with various bits and pieces my grandparents had bought over the course of their long lives. There's a bookcase pushed to one side of the room, filled from top to toe with paperbacks. I wonder if this is where my grandmother stores all the books she can't keep in her bedroom or the living room. When my grandmother said she was a voracious reader, she wasn't lying. The whole house is crammed with books, ranging from the classics we students had to suffer through in high school. I'm looking at you, Soseki Natsume! To modern tales penned by best-selling authors like Misato Kanae, Nanomi Asa, Higashino Keigo, and many more I've never even heard of. Some of the books are dog-eared and look well-worn and well-loved, but most of them are brand new. They're pretty and pristine, like the freshly fallen snow outside. Their pages are immaculate, the covers devoid of any wear and tear. The sight of those books, half hidden in the encroaching darkness, touches at something inside my breast. I'm not sure what it is exactly. Sympathy. Perhaps? There are so many books my grandmother wants to read. So many books she'll never get the time to read now. Near constant snowfall drums instantly against the window pane. The icy winds, sharp as razors, sliding through gaps in the walls and dance about the room, unseen and invisible, but undeniably there. The howling of the wind makes me think of ghosts or spirits. Snow women that roam the mountains, their faces white as milk, their eyelashes decorated with fallen snowflakes like shining gemstones. I wonder, what mysterious force of nature was it that parted my grandmother from her shawl all those years ago and sent her running into the arms of my grandfather? Was it just a sudden gust of wind, or was there something more to it? I'm not a superstitious person. Unlike some of my fellow university students, I don't spend hours at night trawling the internet, searching for urban legends and conspiracy theories to get riled up about. I prefer to believe that things simply happen, and there's not always a reason for it. And that's just the way life is. That's my typical stance on the issue. But when I'm in this old house imbued with the scent of green tea served to hundreds, no, thousands of ghostly impressions of my grandparents' past, when I'm surrounded by old books that have been well loved and new books that may never have a chance to be loved, and the snow is falling softly from beyond my darkened window, I can almost bring myself to believe maybe it really was a spirit after all. It's easier to believe in magic and spirits and destiny when you are isolated in the countryside, miles and miles from the noise and the traffic and the high-rise buildings of Tokyo. I'm not sure why. Perhaps being alone beneath the starry sky naturally fuels our imaginations. It's harder to imagine when you're surrounded by too many people. Life swallows you up like a tidal wave, allowing no time for idle thoughts like this. I turn over in my futon restlessly, rucking up the thin covers. There's only one pillow to rest my head on, and it's a sad, threadbare thing that smells faintly of mildew and old age. I can't help but imagine, as I try and fail to get comfortable, and that the spirits are giggling at my misfortunes. The snow outside really is relentless. The wind continues to moan, the tatami mats creak, and all the while, as I slowly fall into the land of dreams, I swear I can hear the faint sound of muffled laughter. And I do believe we are going to stop here for the time being. And don't you worry, we are going to continue to pick up from where we left off. And thank you guys for watching episode 3. And the name of the episode is the Talking with Grandma Umeko. So on the next episode, you're going to find real shocking, which is going to be another time. So tell me, what do you guys think of A Winter's Daydream? Do you like it or hate it? Mash that like button or share this video if you guys love novelty games such as this one. Because this is a Japanese anime that's rated, to be honest, it's rated E10 and up. It is, because I could tell. I could tell. And celebrating Autism Awareness Month for the entire month of April, wearing the colors red, yellow, and blue all month long as your friendly neighborhood spider cop, and not to mention your Master Chief as well. So Godspeed, play safe, and shalom. Remember to fight with honor, love, truth, and justice. And see you guys next time for more of a winter's daydream. So, happy trails.